Good morning, everybody. It's Alex, Senior Vice President over at Jet Lending. And today, our live education is going to be over what's called driving for dollars, where we're going to kind of dive in a little bit deeper than that. Just to let you guys know, this is live. So if you have questions, you can see I just hit something in our comment section. That's our link to all of our educational videos. We do basically education every day. And it's live. So if you guys actually have questions, I'll see it. I'll answer your questions. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe so you get all the new educational videos. But let's kind of dive into on today's topic. As you become an investor, whether you're seasoned or starting out, there's something what would be termed like driving for dollars. What is that? So as an investor, let's say you got a house that you are considering buying. Okay, so you've done all the research, and you may or may not be negotiating with the seller. It's a good practice to drive around that neighborhood and look for other distressed real estate. The house next door. Is there a house with long grass in the yard? A few newspapers in the driveway. Keeping your just even a pad of paper and a pen in your car and saying, hey, I'm interested in buying your house. Numbers, super simple stuff. Okay. The more authentic it looks like someone's actually you're trying to reach them, the more you actually get a contact. And you take a picture of the address first, and we'll go into another education video on how to actually take pictures. It sounds crazy that people are like, oh, I know how to take pictures. Now, let's go over that. So, for the driving for dollars part, that is the most basic concept of driving for dollars. Okay. You have a house or you have an area and you're driving around. And since you already know the research and the demographics and the potential values of the properties, you start trying to get leads in which you're already trying to buy a house or scope in an area. But I'm going to get you guys to kind of dig deeper than that. And this is where you get a little more risk, but you may get a little more reward, is how do you start driving for dollars every time you drive? Okay. So a couple things to look for when you are scouting areas, because a lot of times I'll have investors contact us and they will say, well, I only want to buy in 77008, or I only want to be 5 miles from my house, and you're limiting yourself to your investment. I am telling you, if it makes a profit, you buy it. Okay. You should be generating teams and structures and crews and things like that to manage that project, even if it's some distance away. Now, am I telling you that you should, if you live in Spring and you should start buying in Memphis? I'm not telling you that unless you have really, really good systems and operations set up to manage that from a long distance. But if you live in Spring and you're like, well, I only invest in Spring. Well, you very well may not invest very much. Okay. So you have to be able to invest in an area while managing everybody. Okay. So how do you do that? How do you potentially find some diamonds in the rough kind of stuff? Well, when you're driving, especially as you guys have noticed in Texas, even the last few years, no less 10, couple key things to look for when you may start noticing an area changing. All right. So this is where you become speculative. You're using speculation. Okay. So one of the things you look for is, as you're driving, a key thing, property that you should look for a transitioning area, or a very soon to be transitioning area, is a bank. Okay. If you notice that you're driving and a new bank is popping up, especially you're driving in the middle of nowhere and there's a Bank of America being built, they've already done their research. They already know homes are coming in. They already know things are coming. So as you start seeing financial institutions being popped up in the area, or a new branch opening in an area, you need to start considering that area, because those people have already done the heavy research. Those people have already got in at probably 30 cents on the dollar, which means that you don't have that kind of liquidity as REITs and hedge funds and stuff like that do. So if you start seeing banks, a McDonald's, a strip center going in, things like that. Or, you see these signs, new retail center coming in 2026. You're like, oh, there is going to be a population boom. There is going to be something coming in here to house this type of facility. Something that you may notice like on 242 and 59 on the north side, like in Porter, New Caney area. Well, I mean, that's a exploding area. You go over there 7 years ago, there was nothing. And now there's subdivisions and a water park, and Home Depot's coming in, and McCoy's Lumber's going in, and all these urgent cares are popping up. So as you drive around the city as an investor, be on the lookout for development. Okay. So as you when you start expanding your berth to figure out where to invest, if you start noticing service types of development like banks and retail centers and things like that, that there was enough capital interested in the demographic in that area that area is going to shift. If you notice a new bank is popping up in a really interesting area where you would not notice probably a Chase Bank supposed to be there, oh, something's happening over here. And that's what you started seeing maybe in about 5 or 6 years ago, the Fifth Ward. And then the Fifth Ward started changing. The only problem, it's not a problem, but the only consideration you need to consider is when you find those types of areas, that is a transitioning area. What does that mean? That means it's speculative. That means that this value add is going to happen later with the next 3, 4, 5 years. So this is a great opportunity for the land buyers and the holding of real estate people. So don't get me wrong, you can still flip pretty good, but that's not where you're not hitting the transitioning market yet. You may buy a house that you plan to really renovate well, but you're going to hold it for 2 or 3 years, put your renters in there, wait for the appreciation to come up, and then do it. So a real good driving for dollars is not just scoping out a property that you're trying to buy and then, looking at the houses in the area. You should always be driving for dollars. If you're driving down, a highway and you're noticing that there's a whole bunch of retail centers where everything's for lease, and you drive down 3 months from now and everything's for lease, and then you drive down 5 months later and everything's still for lease. It's like, well, there's no businesses coming in here. Why is the population not supporting the strip center? Why is this? Maybe this is a detransitioning area. Maybe this is an area that's not as sought out. Doesn't mean you shouldn't buy in there. It just means you have to buy differently. Okay. So that's another thing that you should consider. All areas, whether it's very, very low end or very, very high end, has an ability to make a good profit as long as you buy it in the accordance of what that area is supporting today. Okay. If you buy it at a higher value because you're speculating that the profits or the prices are going to go up, know that you have to come out of pocket more for that risk. The higher the risk, the higher the reward. The risk is going to be your capital because your lenders are going to project on trends, what's called retrospective, things of today that happened and then from the past, usually about 12 months in the past, to see a trend in the market. Okay. If you start looking at things from today and what you're going to project into the future, that's speculation. And speculation always carries higher risk, but higher reward. The risk to the investors, usually their out-of-pocket costs. So I hope this helped. I hope to give you little clear clues on when you're driving around. Take a look, every stoplight, every stop sign. You're getting a Starbucks coffee and taking a look around, like what's going on in here. Does the population support these businesses? Is the population growing? I'm like, there's a strip center, there's a Starbucks. And when I used to live, a lot of different places in the country, there'd be a Starbucks across from a Starbucks, and they'd be full. It's like, are they building something, a coffee place right across the street? It's like, oh man, this place is supporting a lot of business. This place is supporting a lot of people. People are moving here. I'm going to look at these places to see what I can buy. Okay. So I hope that helped, a little strategy. Again, if you guys ever watching this and you have comments, put them in the comment box. I gave you the link to our educational videos on our website. This will be on there. Contact us on how we can loan you money. We'd love to loan you money on buying us because that's what we do. So go to our website, get pre-approved. You can chat us up on social media on our website, ask us questions, text us, whatever you need. Okay. And we will close your deals within 3 days from clear to close from title and appraisal report in. So I hope that helped. We'll give you some good advice, see if we can get your deals done, help you increase your wealth. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope these are helping. And